All right. So, getting started here. Hey, welcome in. Thank you for letting us interview you. Yeah,
Of course.
This is awesome.
First big interview.
Exactly.
This is a big one.
Oh yeah,
We're a big get.
you're a big get. You're a big get.
All right.
You didn't think you were a big get?
Well, no. From here on out, I will treat it as though
heard that.
this
I
is
like that.
this is
Big
an
get.
Get never
Big get.
Never
No.
heard get. Oh, God. Oh, you booked Keith Lyon. What a get. You never heard that. Well, from here on out, I will present as a big get.
Oh, yeah.
There'll be a big ego shift.
Oh yeah.
You'll sense it in my stride.
We started it. Right?
Nah, I'm just kidding. All good, bro.
Yeah, so we're KCene. We represent local music scene here in KC. Just try to talk about a lot of local artists as well as just artists coming in.
I go to a lot of shows, so I get to talk about the shows like outside of local that we go to, and we try to bring in local friends and friends that are in bands. And
Yeah.
we've gotten 2 different local interviews, and you guys are our next bigger thing.
Right. Mm-hmm. Should we move here so we will be a local too? We could be local to KC.
I'm good with that.
My uncle used to live here.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. I'd be around. So
Perfect.
I would.
You guys can just make the move. You guys come from New York, right?
yeah. So the taxes would be way lower if we come down here. Cost of living. Sounds good to me. What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I appreciate having us on. We should say for the audience, we're not local to Kansas City, but we appreciate coming to Kansas City. I think we pretty regularly now. I mean, this is at least the second time this year. Yeah, we're here this summer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, we're getting to know the scene and getting to know people and building little pockets of fans all over the country. But I feel like we're no longer strangers to Kansas City, which is nice.
Oh, for sure. When we were talking about potentially interviewing you guys and stuff, when we were still, of course, communicating through email and stuff, there were a few people that we were letting know, and they're like, "Oh, really? You guys are going to do that?"
Oh, so there's some
fans here. Big get.
There you go.
So that's
why
awesome.
we say that.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of excitement around it. So for sure, the opportunity to interview you guys is great.
Well, we're excited too. Thanks for having us on.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so I got questions written down.
Questions,
Yeah.
queries.
Bjork was here. 2021.
There she is. There she is.
Is that true?
Bjork and Brad Pitt at the same time.
Somewhere up here. I
don't
saw
know
them
when they were here.
not that long ago.
For the listeners, there's all sorts of names on the wall that may or may not have been in this room. So call me skeptical. I don't know if Bjork was here, but maybe.
There's a lot.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Oh, wait.
This is just the show. I think this is just, we're just going to read names to them.
Read names, right?
Yeah.
So, do you guys have a favorite, either state, venue, or whatever to play in? It doesn't have to be here.
You don't have to say Kansas City to try to please the crowd.
I love Kansas City. It's number one. but the Kansas side, that's a joke.
I wish there was
That's
one.
a joke. I don't know if we ever played the Kansas side of Kansas City, actually. Can
Wichita
you?
is
that possible?
pretty much
We've
the
done
closest
Wichita.
venue.
Lawrence.
We've
Lawrence, yeah, I guess Lawrence.
We've done Lawrence, too.
We've done Lawrence.
Yeah,
We've
a
done
long
Wichita.
time ago.
We've done
Long time
Topeka.
Yeah.
Hayes, of course, recently.
Hayes.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah, that was right after here.
It was amazing.
Yeah,
It was
incredible.
amazing.
It was before and after. We got to start at Hayes, come here, and then drive back.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Yeah, crazy schedule. What is our favorite? I don't know, man.
Do you have a favorite venue at home? Even
I mean, okay, that's probably easier to answer. So we are from. You got to narrow it down. This country's too big.
it really is.
So I mean, we call ourselves, we refer to ourselves as a New York band. All of us are from different parts of the tri-state area, as you call it out there, and so like New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania. But I would say our home spot, our home venue is the Amityville Music Hall on Long Island, New York.
Nice.
And so I would say
Some history there.
that,
for sure.
yeah, and so that would be, I would say that's our, for lack of a better term, our home venue.
Mm-hmm.
It's gone through changes recently, got all renovated. It's much bigger, and which is cool because it's still our home, but it's fun to watch it evolve as we evolve also. So I think for lack of sitting here and brainstorming a million cities and a million places, we'll leave it at AMH.
That works.
There you go.
That works. So, I mean, talking about going back to like hometown venue, everything, what's the origin story of the band? Like, how did it all start?
So I headed up a group previous to this for a long time, and it was a complete accident in terms of starting a band. It really was like, hey, we wrote some goofy, at the time, ska songs and like put them on MySpace and gave it a stupid name of a band, like, hey, we're a band. And then I kind of booked a show, and I fell in love with it. It was just me and my high school friends initially, and I kind of caught the bug of, oh, I think there's a crystallizing moment that most people have, at least I hope that they have, that you're like, this is what I want to do. You know what I mean? Like, this is the calling, and that's what I got from that. And then years of kind of maneuvering through this accidental band turned into a real band, and then I wanted to kind of start fresh with a new branding and a new name and a kind of a new mission, and that's where I started Keep Flying from, and that was with the help of people that I'd met along the many years I'd been in the other group, and kind of to me it was like a super group because it was people from different states. It wasn't like all from people from one town or one city or one area. I had people from, again, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and kind of created this hodgepodge of touring musicians who had been in other projects, and we're like, let's join forces and kind of push this the best we can. And it kind of even remains to this day, even though we've had some people come in and out, it's still people from various parts of the nation coming together to form this band. So, and that is the very long story short.
I like it.
It's much longer with like the details and like how this and that, but that is a really great telling of the story.
All right.
You know what I mean?
We're saving that for the documentary.
What?
Years down the road when we break up, and all the lore will
For the
come out.
reunion
all
tour.
the stuff, the good stuff, the bad stuff, everything. Like with any group of people and changing people, there's all the stuff.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, what Henry said is good, a good representation of what how this came to be. Thankfully, and that is really long wiener over there.
Oh my god.
Those you just listen,
Right on the door.
I feel compelled to
2
narrate
feet long.
your observations of the room. So for those of you watching, there is a drawn phallus on the hinge of the door. It's very long, longer than any phallus should be. Phallus means a wiener.
Oh yeah.
Sorry.
2 for 1 sheets.
Yeah, that's true.
It definitely looks painful.
There's sheets here?
No.
I knew that.
No, you didn't know that.
So I've got a separate question just from just looking at the Facebook, looking you guys up, right? So one of the key things in the bio that I wanted to ask about.
I know what it's going to
I'm
be.
skipping to that already.
So do I.
I already know what's going to be going. Oh.
So punk nudist rock?
Ah,
I knew it was going to be that.
yeah, so did I.
I'll take this. Funny,
I just had to
you
skip
know what?
to that.
It's awesome that, and I'm glad you've seen it and wrote it down because I changed it last week. Last week I removed it last week and changed it to New York rock and roll or rock music or something like this. It was a joke for us. It was always an inside joke. About every 6 months, we would be somewhere in nature, and we would do a photo where we would all be naked and take it from behind, of course, from behind. And those have consistently always been on our social media the most liked and or hated, but the most traction and engagement we've ever had. Every 6 months or so, like, okay, we got a thing we need to announce. We'll just put up another naked photo of ourselves and we'll let that work, lose a couple followers. But
That's awesome.
this year, so it was, yes, it's an inside joke. We're not around the venue. We got a lot of kids at the shows. And also, we kind of this summer when we were out on the road just kind of realized that it like all things, it kind of just didn't lose its way, but we just started feeling differently about it. And we discussed, and we were like, I don't know if we're going to have another one of those. And we were about to take one, and then instead we took that same pose clothed, and it had like a nice message above the doorway in Cape and Bridge. And it was like, okay, you know what, this feels good. It feels now we don't We don't got to have guys having questions asked to them by distant relatives who are concerned and confused about what is this photo here. I don't understand. So it just kind of is what it is.
I think like the real issue was not so much the photos, but like it's the first thing you see when you go to any of our pages, and it's not one.
It
of
definitely
those,
was the first thing I saw.
Right, and nudist is not one of those descriptors that people just glaze over and don't really take in. They're instantly like, "What? What are you talking about?
What do you mean by that?"
Right. So then
These guys naked at the shows, or
Well, I was like, I kept going over it in my head. Like, do they mean like this is the perfect music to listen to on like a nudist beat? And I was like trying to put myself like in the
okay.
I like the way you think.
Where did this come from?
I also overthink, so that's good.
Yeah.
I also read too much into things that there was nothing to read into. We just put our asses online sometimes.
Oh, okay.
That's
Cool.
really what it is.
That's like
way,
30% of America now, right?
Right, well, sure. Yeah, right.
Exactly.
Join the crowd. Right. Go with works. And I'm not counting it out in the future, but to use it as our main descriptor probably isn't correct. So
This will probably be the last time that this question's asked because we've changed the description. It's no longer there.
That's fair.
Right.
And the answer will be out there now. So
there you go.
Yeah, we will
There are millions
people.
to take
Here you
in.
go. Question, here's the answer.
here's the answer.
Just send them us.
Yep, that works. And that definitely
Awesome.
that saves me so much overthinking, because I was like trying to break down lyrics. Like, is there anything? It was too much.
Yeah, because you do lots with lyrics, and that's your main focus on.
That's a
with
good
songs.
point.
Vocals and lyrics.
I don't think I ever leaned into that. I could.
So
Maybe on
Next
the
album.
next
Yeah, we'll
Next
see.
up.
2 away from now.
two.
Two away.
All right. So on the topic of songs, do you have a favorite one to play?
Yours is always different from mine. I mean, like,
We expect different answers from everybody.
yeah. It usually goes from month to month for me, really, because we play a lot of shows. I mean, we're on tour like half the year, so
Super fun.
just like any, it should be, right? I'm kidding, it's great.
It should be.
But it kind of goes, it ebbs and flows. Right now, we have a song called "Left Behind" on our newest EP called "Daylight," and that's actually right at the moment my favorite released song that we've made. We have other songs that aren't coming. They aren't out yet. They're coming, but like that's that's the one that I'm the most. I would say the most proud of. It's what I listen to and I'm like, yeah, we did that one, and so and it is also very fun to play. So at the moment, that is my answer. It's changed over the years, but right now, that's what I got. How about you, Yanni?
I would say 198 Broadway for several reasons. As we talked about in the very beginning, Amityville Music Hall is our home venue. The song that's the address of the venue, 198 Broadway. And I think about, it only hits me midway through the set. The first half of the set, I'm in it. About midway through, it's like I'm in it, but I'm waiting to get to that song because it's just a big ender, and it gets very I'm like excited. About 20 minutes into the set, like, okay, in a few more minutes we're going to be at this tune, and it's going to be the energy is going to go all the way up, and I'm going to see everybody singing along, and I love all of our songs that perform in a way that there is more crowd participation. So all the songs that we have where the crowd is either singing or waving or jumping or something with us is the ones I like to play the most. Yeah. Just like I just love that kind of element to
Makes
live
sense.
music, just being actually with the people, like
Right.
we're together now,
Yeah.
That's our show too. The epicenter of our show really is engagement with the crowd, and we have we do whoa parts and clap parts and things like that, which is it's so effective. But
Yes.
but as an audience member, I love seeing that. I feel connected, and that's what we try to do. You know what I mean? We're not going to get up there and wow you with a whole bunch of skill. It's not that we're bad, but like I'm not Satriani up there. You know what I'm saying? So like, we will try to put a smile on your face, the best we can. And that song is like got a big anthemic conclusion. And it's really cathartic for us. And if the people are in it, it feels really good. So, 198 Broadway, good one.
Yeah,
Good team.
Because Cassie, that was one of the things that she told us about you guys is that your stage presence is crazy good, amazing, super fun.
Yep.
And we didn't get a chance to go to the Bowling for Soup show last time you were here, but she did. Yeah.
It's all good.
Tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're here to see it tonight. She unfortunately couldn't make it, but
It's gonna be a great show.
About the album artwork because I just took a trip to Washington, and then Revival Candy Cane Forest 2.
Yes.
Those look like pictures from Washington.
So I'll
I
do a
was
little
curious about
quick
that.
preface, and then you can do the artwork because you definitely have more on that. For the listeners at home, Revival is an EP that we did. We have another record called Survival, and Revival is kind of the sister record to that. We took a few songs from that and a couple songs from like deeper in the catalog and did different reimagined versions of them. So there's like that song in particular is kind of like a folk pop Mumford and Sons sounding kind of version of a song called Candy Cane Forest. So that's why that exists. And so it's a pretty easy listening record. It's not really a punk record
I listened to
at
it
any point. So it's a very
yesterday,
calm looking album artwork, and you can enlighten us as to where it came from.
You were very close.
Damn.
Those were photos taken by our main music videographer and old photographer at home, Jesse Gonzalez, also known as Red Hat. He had a trip that he was, I believe, a non-work related, and he took a lot of photos, and it was in the mountain region of the Pacific Northwest.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
you're
'cause
very close.
I looked at the artwork. I was like, that looked really familiar to
Yes.
where I was this summer.
The single art for that and the cover art, the front and back of the vinyl of Revival were all shots that he did, and then he worked on the edits to make it kind of that color scheme.
Yeah.
But yeah, those were all. He came back and said, "This is what I'm thinking. I have photos already that I think would work really well for this."
I was close then.
And it was just like kind of pretty quick for us to be like, "Oh yeah, that's perfect." Like I seen it and went, "Yeah." He gave us like 4 or 5 different edits, and we seen the one and went, "That's the answer." I think it might have been unanimous right out the gate. There was like a pinkish one, a blue, all different edits. So, but yeah. We rotate between photos, drawn art, different kinds of drawn art. Even when it is drawn, we try to change it up. So our work has become a huge part of what it is that we do, and we're very grateful to the very few people who've contributed almost all of it to the band that are not band members, that we consider like silent members. Nice. So we thank you, Jesse, Chris. Come on.
Definitely silent members.
Oh, yeah.
The team is strong.
I mean, it takes a village. It takes a team, right? So speaking of teams and just bands in general that you guys have played with, I know Cassie got to see you guys when you played with Bowling for Soup. Mm-hmm. Do you have a favorite band to play with? Like, who's fun to be around when you guys are performing shows?
I'll give it to Bowling for Soup.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
they're really cool guys. So.
We've been really lucky. We've gotten put on some really great support shows and support tours, and we've had a good lot of opportunities, and we're really, really grateful for all of them. But I will say, and no disrespect to any other band or organization that's taking us out, but like it's not just their show and their music and their vibe. It's like when you're a headliner, you're in charge of kind of creating that work environment. Mm-hmm. And I don't think that we've ever been given a better place to do our job, and to not only do our job but to succeed at our job than that was provided to us by Bowling for Soup. And so they're great people. They're professional. They are fun. They're laid back, but they're also hardworking. And that's how we like to be. Like we take our job very seriously, but we're not jerks about stuff at least we try not to be. So, so I would personally give it to them, and I thank them every day for the opportunity to be out with them and progress. You know what I mean? So. Is that different from what you would say, or do you think that that's accurate?
I think that's accurate.
Yeah.
Just working on something here. I'm working on a little photo project real quick. It's looking pretty good so far. Less Than Jake. We love Less Than Jake. That's a band that the whole band can agree on, and are also really wonderful to be around, and have given us a lot of kindness and a lot of care and compassion and opportunity, which we appreciate. There's really very few bands that we've gotten to go out with more than once, and I think that as we're out with Ballyhoo right now, this is like the third time that they've given us a shot, and pretty much anybody that is willing to or likes us and wants to do it with us again in some other capacity, let's say, it means the world, because that means, okay, we did something right and their fans liked it and our fans came and our people liked it, and we meshed with the bands. So it's only happened a few times. So yeah, I have no problem playing with the bands that we already like and playing with them again and again. That does not bother me even slightly these days. Used to feel like you got to change it up. Now I'm just like, nah, you got to be happy and feel good and comfortable and not weird, and just be with your people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I mean, when you build a rapport with the band and like how it is, how the show's gonna go, and already know the people, it just makes it easier, doesn't it?
Yeah,
more relaxed, and
we get a lot. I don't even want to say it. It's just nice to be. It's nice to be with your people.
Can I maybe try to say what you're saying, but in a different way?
Go ahead.
Can I give it a shot?
Give it a shot. I'll tell you if you were right.
Let me give it a shot. You can tell me if I'm right.
Yeah. The other thing is we do editing, so like if there's something you need to cut, we can cut.
Let me try to do this in a music industry friendly way. So, one of the disadvantages of, I mean, I'm sure everybody in music can relate to this, but like we're like a niche of a niche of a niche in terms of where our genre is. If you want to give us whatever that is, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I think that's really good, though.
This is alternative to an alternative, and yeah, that's great. And like, and what's great about that is that people are passionate about it, because the deeper you go in, the more into it they are. Mm-hmm. And I'm that way about music in general, and that's why I got into it. One of the hard lessons I had was learning that, being a fan doesn't translate to working well in the industry as well. So you have a kind of a skewed misconception as to what it's going to be like to associate with these kinds of people. Mm-hmm. And as the years have gone on, I personally, and I can speak for some of my bandmates as well, it's a lonely feeling to make it about, business and about things that aren't as related to just how much we love doing it. You know what I'm saying? We romanticize what it's like to do it, and then you're in it for so long, and you try to align with people. People say don't meet your heroes. Sometimes it's true, sometimes it's not, and it gets to be very lonely and isolating. And our band at times has felt like we don't have any friends in the industry. We don't. We're all on our own here. But then, a Bowling for Soup, a Less Than Jake, a Ballyhoo, luckily a plethora of others will make us feel a lot less alone in doing this, and remind us that, like, look, we're all just doing the best we can. We can lift each other up. It's not kill or be killed out here. We can actually benefit from each other. So I'm assuming that's kind of where you were going. And based on my answer, you can assume that there are times when we did get screwed and we haven't had every experience go the right way. But if nothing else, the message of our band is to keep going and to do the best we can. So it would be against our credo if we just packed it up. So we keep on trying.
We got to Fly High, which is the most commonly incorrect name our band has received.
Yes.
Flying High.
For some reason, I think it's a Mandela thing. I think that most people live on a plane of existence that we don't, and when they see our band name listed somewhere, they think it says Flying High and not Keep Flying, and I don't understand why. That's just an aside. People get our name wrong, and that's what they think it is, like 80% of the time. I don't know why.
For real.
For real. I'm not joking. A lot.
How?
Huh.
Like, okay.
No, we hear it, but it's become so normal that there's no effect. When I see us build that, or someone says, "Oh, Flying High," I'm just like, yeah,
Yeah.
Sure, I don't know. It's fine. Whatever you want. I mean, somebody has been saying this because why does it keep happening? But
I'm trying to think of a comp in pop culture, like a name that people just get wrong. But it's like the way and like an older person would be like, I was watching that show. What's it? The Family Man. It's what's it called? And it's Family
Guy.
Like that's just what. But people go to Flying High instantly. I don't know why. I don't get it.
Just do that when you're in Colorado and everywhere else.
that's where we've been billed. We've been printed out on paper that was the name of the
in
band.
Colorado.
Oh yeah.
That's just a Colorado thing.
Yeah.
This 100%
Illegal
makes sense
Pete's.
now. Yeah.
They billed us.
That's right. That did happen in Denver. Nice.
What the? All good, man.
That's just a quick aside. We can move on.
I love it. I love it.
How did I do though? Real quick, John. How did I do?
You were very close.
Was I close?
Yeah. No, you were on it, and you said it in a much nicer way.
Well, I mean, it gets difficult. You try to keep it about the art, but we live in a capitalist society, so.
And we're just getting older, and things change. That's okay.
I feel that.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Things change. It's not a bad thing.
Yeah, that happens. So, do you want me to ask this, or you want to ask
go
this
ahead.
one? Are you
Oh,
sure?
I cannot
It's
wait.
funnier if you ask it.
It's funnier if I ask
Funny
it.
one. Let's do a silly one.
You know, it used to be it used to be,
What?
I believe, grammatically incorrect to say funnier, and it was more funny, and
Yeah.
they've changed it, and now it is accepted that you can say funnier.
You know,
I'm gonna look that up.
I'm
no,
almost positive.
he's right. He's right.
It was a thing, I believe.
Some
Look it up. Can we get a fact check?
some etymology on terminology.
I
right
swear,
there.
I remember someone sharing an article like funnier is now accepted.
Yeah, Jamie, pull that
Webster's- What do you call that?
Pull that up real quick.
Merriam-Webster. Encyclopedias?
Yeah, Merriam-Webster. The
Merriam-Webster.
dictionary.
Who is Merriam?
And we're having our producer. We're having our producer pick this up.
Tricky aspect of mastering English. But comparatives can be a tricky aspect of mastering English, but blank is the correct option. Any guesses?
More funny.
Merriam-Webster?
Funnier.
All right, there you go.
All right.
No, mate, this is livexp.com. Ever heard of it?
Yeah, that's big.
No, I've never heard of that.
Strike that from the records.
Put that
So,
on Snopes.com.
You
See
see,
if that's
like,
true.
It's only funny because I want to know the answer more.
Okay,
Let's hear
funnier is an adjective on Webster.
Okay.
No, we're not debating that it's a word. We're just saying that at one point, funnier was not a word.
Yes, and I remember that. Wow.
'Cause I remember people used to correct me and be like, it's more funny.
Yeah.
It's more funny.
Here's an article.
Tell us.
Funnier, stupider, and other words that are in fact real on Merriam-Webster.
There we go.
Okay.
So,
Words. Go
just
on.
We've made no progress on
At
that.
all. I'm still dying to hear this question.
Ask.
so this question. Here we go. Why the horns? Why the horns? It does make it unique. It does make it very unique, and I like it. But we got to know.
I feel,
That was a
Well,
big
I'm out
thing.
of a job if not.
That's
I got
true.
no job.
That was one of the
Fired.
big things that I saw when I was looking up.
you think
what
that
you
if we
guys are
get,
about. It's like with horns, like, but why horns?
what if we get a meeting at like Interscope with Jimmy Iovine and he asks like the same question?
Yeah, but like, why
You know
the
what I mean?
horns?
Right, yeah, but like why?
Why?
And I'll be like, we'll give you millions of dollars if you just don't do that. I'll be like, all right.
Oh, I would just say, just give me some money and you can do it.
Oh no, I'd give you a good severance. I would give you a good
Severance
severance.
for me.
Listen, man, I'll
I'll
take
be
care
on
of
my
you. I'll take care of you. Don't worry about it.
Funny enough, saxophone is my favorite instrument, so I love the horns.
You see that?
No,
Hey.
he's smoothing. He's smoothing it
No,
over now.
actually, you can go back and
Yeah,
check the episode.
This
I
one,
really
this
wanna-
guy is questioning your very existence, but this guy's trying to smooth it over.
No, actually,
Yeah.
I played saxophone in middle school. I just
Hey,
ended up
that's too
staying the
bad.
string round.
No, okay.
Yeah.
Dichotomy.
I do really like saxophone, and yes, if you watch back on any of our episodes, he actually has said that saxophone is his favorite. So
Amazing.
We'll fact check it. I won't.
yeah, you went and did.
That was our question of like, what
playing
is
phone
the
games.
instrument you most want to play? I was like, I really want to learn how to play the saxophone.
Yep.
So to answer your question, the very direct question, the answer would be that in the previous band I started called Survey Says, it was like truly a ska punk band, whereas this band is not. I mean, we kind of get categorized that way
Yeah.
because it's easy to. You know, we kind of have a punk rock vibe, and there's a horn section, and it definitely gives ska sometimes. But I wouldn't classify us as that, as we don't really pull from a lot of that stuff. My old band, however, did, and we didn't want to really lose the horn element, as I always felt it was, you know, kind of the cheat code from getting around, you know, sounding like every, you know, punk rock, pop punk band in the you know, at that time especially. So I personally was like, there's no need to not have them. It can only make it more of an eclectic sound, a more unique sound, and I feel like we've done that. So, you know, I mean, and the way that we usually describe it is, you know, the same way that Yellow Card has a violin, and the same way that Motion City Soundtrack has a synth. Like, that's usually our go-to explanation as to what we apply it to, or to be. And you know, we found, other than just having, you know, 8 bars of a horn line and then a verse and a chorus and an 8 line, like the way that like a lot of ska music is formatted, I think we found really cool, unique ways to, you know, deploy the horns in the songs. So,
especially as the records have, as we've gone on as a band, it has evolved further. And we use, I mean, the record that we have done now that's coming out next year, we've got one part in the song that you might not even know that it's horns creating this sound. And we decided to do that, and it was really fun. Like, we continue to expand how we're using them. And, of course, the performance. You know, Henry's the lead singer, and he's up there, but the horns are also up there, whereas a lot of bands have the horns either back one tier or second, like as far back as possible, because they're not supposed to be a centerpiece. They're supposed to be, you know, just kind of in the background and like, you know. So yeah, I don't know. That's definitely. I
don't know if we would ask that question, like why.
Yeah, no. More so, people ask what is the other horn player playing up there, because it don't look like no trombone, but it's way too big to be a trumpet.
True.
And the answer is that he's playing a valve trombone because he's a trumpet player who never learned how to play slide. And that's the answer. It's just a really big trumpet or a trombone with valves on it instead. Just a bigger mouthpiece. So he really just had to focus on relearning embouchure and not so much.
Yeah, that was like
a whole
the
new
first
instrument.
Line in your Spotify, for me at least, that I saw was punk rock band with horns.
Because we lean into the fact that we have them.
Yeah.
It's obvious that we have them.
Yes.
But, when somebody doesn't look at a photo or listen, if they are going to actually just take something off of a bio or off of a text, you want to kind of put that in there. At least for us. If without, it's like, well, like he said, just another band.
Right.
So
it's definitely part of what makes you guys unique.
I listen first, and then I'm like, all right, let me read about them.
Yeah, I definitely do that too. And of course, I know
there's horns in there.
Right.
I can hear them.
Yeah, my wife Cassie had seen you guys first, and she was like, oh my gosh, these guys' stage presence was amazing, and they had horns up there. And I was like,
okay,
punk rock band with horns? That's unique. Yeah, I'm gonna have to take a listen. So for sure, it's a point that made me want to listen more. So definitely like that you guys have it. Don't get rid of it. I don't care if Interscope Records or anything. Well, John, I wasn't talking to you there. I wasn't talking to you there.
That was awesome, bro. That was so great.
Rick and I are going to start playing keys up there. We're going to have several different keyboards instead.
Like horns?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Uh-huh. We're going to set up facing each other in front of the kick drum, facing each other with several keyboards, and we're going to start wearing white robes and shout stuff.
That was so funny.
That was funny.
That was such a great moment.
This microphone smells very new.
Yeah, it is. It got delivered from Amazon today.
Today. Really no, I go.
No. Yeah, that one good. Got here today.
I thought you were trying to make the noise. No. You know you fake that in a microphone. You do like that. That's what I did when I was working. So it's louder if you. Yeah. Anyway.
So we just have one more question.
One more.
Yeah. I am a musician myself, so I would like to know what's your songwriting process.
Let's bring in our drummer Pete for this one. Come on,
Okay.
Come on, come sit in. I don't know what.
I'm just curious.
But I was.
This
no matter what
is
the
a
question
fun
was,
one, and you're gonna bring him in.
All right.
Let's bring him in. The couch is much.
No, I was just
cozier
curious because
than-
everyone writes songs differently. Like
Why don't you start it, Hen?
one with lyrics,
I can.
one with
Then let Pete take
something
it.
else, something
Specifically with
first.
The new record. Pete,
Oh well,
Pete
this
doesn't have
this
to
was
have-
different a
Pete
little
did,
bit.
yeah. Go ahead.
So, generally speaking, the bones of the song generally come from me. I spend time just by myself making demos of the songs. We're really close now. I demo out like what I think the drums should do, but I write the guitar parts and the lyrics and basically the idea of the structure is how it should flow, like where choruses go, verses, yada yada yada. And then I'll bring not a finished product to the band, but like almost a song. It could be on its own to the band, and then it begins to evolve when everybody kind of puts their own spin on it, because I don't play drums. I can't write drum parts, so I try not to write for everybody in the band in terms of, at least instrumentally. So, everybody kind of gets their take on what happens after that. So in this record, we got to actually we really do like pre-pro. We kind of just go into the studio a lot of the time, but this time we took 2 weeks to really get down to the nitty-gritty parts and make sure that everybody's sure on what they're doing. Peter got to write his drums. Why don't you tell me, do you write your drums? Tell me you write your drums. On this last record, at least, remember?
So, I don't know if it was been said, but we live in all different places.
Yeah.
So, like, we can't ever really get together, right? So, Hen will, like, write a song and, like, put, like, fake drums in it, right? And, like, it's really just, like, the backbone of it. He's basically like, all right, here's what I think the vibe should be. You deal with it, right? So, like, as far as I'm concerned, there's only so many things you can do with the drums. Really is only so many things, mate. That's how I feel about it. I like keeping it simple. I don't think the drums aren't a lead instrument. It's kind of there to support everything else. So, being honest, I don't even know if I told them this. I listened to the songs about 2 or 3 times before we got down to Nashville, and really wrote them and really did all the pre-production, because I said, there's nothing I can really do. I can't program things. I can't. I don't even have a laptop. I don't know how to do any of that, right? So we got down there, and our friend Luke was kind enough to help us with it, and he had this like keyboard, and he like connected it to his computer, and he was like, all right, like this one is the kick drum, this one's the snare drum, here are the cymbals, right? And we were just going bar to bar, just like I was like playing it like this, like do da, like stuff like that, and telling him like, this is how I want it to sound, this is what makes the most sense, and what I have the ability to play, meaning like something that's possible to play. Because a lot of times, like, Henry will put something in there, and there'll be like, it'll sound like I have 3 hands. So like sometimes I have to.
I try. I've stopped trying to do that.
Yeah.
In the past, I'd be like these crazy rolls that no human being could ever do.
Yeah, right. So like I have to like kind of simplify it a little bit. You feel me? So I don't know. Like Henry writes real good songs, man. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. Henry writes good songs. I love Henry's songs since I was 14 years old, and I don't know. I think that
16 now.
I think that I've grown as a musician with him, and he makes it very easy, and I kind of just go with what the song calls for. That was my main motive, I guess. I don't know the word I'm looking for this newest record. Was I just want to put in what the song calls for. You know what I'm saying? So made it very easy.
And on that same point, we do kind of sit and discuss once Henry's presented the songs about, well, where are the vocals? First off, what do we think the melodies are? And that's how we kind of start to build where horns might work, not work, where lead guitar may work, not work, where they can both happen, where it's got to be one or the other. And we've been learning and growing with this process, because as we've done the records, we have less and less competing to squeeze stuff in, and more all of us kind of all being on the same page, like, no, that's exactly where that should be. And that's exactly when that should also leave and not be there no more. And that's been really nice. And me and Rick, we write the horns for the most part, with a little bit of help here and there from, whoever's producing or sitting in. But for the most part, it just kind of comes together pretty organically like that.
One more thing? I got one more thing.
Let me ask Henry if he's got anything to say before you talk again.
Just adding to what you said, the advantage of
Stop.
there's an advantage and a disadvantage to having this many players. It means that we can create all sorts of sounds together and push the band to do new things. The other disadvantage is that there's a lot of traffic that needs to be done.
Right.
And there's a lot of that was the phrase I hung on to the entire session, was directing traffic, and it's making sure that there's not too much of one thing, and there isn't. I'm not saying that as a observer of our own music, we want to get better, right? So, in the past we would kind of struggle with, like you just said, lead guitar and the vocal and the horns, whatever, like making sure they're not all up front. You can't do that.
Right.
That's chaos. So, learning how to refocus all the pieces of the puzzle and make it make the most sense, even if it means leveling things out, is what we've learned to do and will continue to learn to do.
I was just going to say, we all come from different places musically, right? We all listen to much different things from each other for the most part. There are very few bands. I'm talking 5 bands that we all agree on. I listen to a lot of rap music and 90s Euro techno dance music. I like a lot of that stuff. This guy listens to movie soundtracks and things like that, and it's just I think that we all come from a different place musically, and the things that we are inspired by and the things that we want to kind of incorporate into the songs, and I think that puts the songs in a very interesting place.
That's good. And I mean, it's the same for us. When we're podcasting, whenever we're thinking about any songs we want to cover or anything, we are
Very different musically.
Yeah, and self-diagnosed polyamorous people. We like
That's
listening to
that's
everything.
a great term.
I like that.
Right.
Polyamorous.
Polyamorous.
Gonna have to explain that one to me later.
We will. Don't worry.
So it's I mean, listening to everything, we love doing that. That's part of the reason why we like podcasting about music, right? Because we have enjoyment on some level for every genre out there. I personally can't do country music, but then Cassie and Roman, you can do a little bit of country, and so it's we're all able to appreciate all of the genres of music. I got one last question for you guys. So you're in Kansas City.
Sure am.
Obviously, you had some barbecue. What's your favorite thing about the city, about being in Kansas City?
Obviously.
I have a real answer. I came here in 2016, 2017 maybe, and my father and I, there's the soccer club here, Sporting Kansas City, and my father and I came because my club was playing against them in the U.S. Open Cup final, and everyone there was just really, really nice.
It's that Midwest nice.
Yeah, but it was interesting. We were walking around the stadium in opposing colors, right? Cup final, huge match, huge day, and just everyone was just hey, welcome to the city, welcome to the stadium. We're happy you're here, and just we went to some barbecue restaurant,
Q39.
Q39. That was great. Everyone there was really nice. It was recommended by the people at the match, and
Best barbecue in Kansas City.
it was good. And the last time we were here, we played at the Truman.
Oh, yeah.
And everyone there was just very nice. The hospitality here, the venue we're playing tonight, everyone's great. And it's just, I don't know. The people here are super nice. I guess it's the Midwest thing, like you said. I don't know, but
It is. It is.
yeah, it just feels good here.
It is good. I think I played in front of my biggest crowd in Kansas City. Actually,
Oh yeah.
I feel
That's
like
good.
in 2014, survey says open for Rubik Fish. And I think there was 5,000 people there. And I think that was the biggest crowd of people I've ever played in front of. So that was. So yeah, sorry, man. Well, we haven't gotten Keep Flying there yet. Well, we'll get there. Here, you can have that.
My favorite thing is an artist called God's Computer. Check him out.
God's computer.
Check him out.
Local here to KC.
Local here to KC.
Check them out, mate.
Check him out. God's Computer.
That's a failure on our part. Not. Yeah.
Something else.
God's computer.
Shout out.
Definitely a shout out. All right, we're gonna have to look that one up.
Got it.
You will be happy that you did.
Sweet.
I can give you his business card if you'd like.
Yes.
I do. You
Absolutely.
hear me? I'll never forget that stuffed animal room.
GC.
Drew, what's up, man?
I just want to see what you're looking at.
Come on in. Come in. Drew, you got anything you want to add?
This is Drew from Ballyhoo's merch guy.
Hi.
Here, use the mic. Use the mic.
Oh, hey, what's up, guys? These people are probably the nicest, humblest, and hardworking people I've seen in this industry. So get on your freaking knees for them.
Did you already said about you guys?
That's not us. No,
Oh, wow,
that's you guys.
I'm talking about you guys. Don't trap me in
I
here.
see what you did there.
Happy.
I see what you did there.
And they put on a pretty good show too. So
pretty good. It's pretty good.
Is this right here?
Yes.
Us all hanging
No.
out together on this very small couch.
Very smart.
I feel like I want to break it.
I feel like I have to go to the bathroom.
I can feel the tip of your. I'm getting up.
Oh.
Thanks, man.
All right, and that's out.
All right, and we're
Oh yeah, no. Last message. Where can everybody find you guys?
At Keep Flying Band on all socials. KeepFlying.band is our official website with merch and tour dates and news and things. And also Google.com if nothing else works. So there you go.
At Flying High Band.
Yeah, we talked about that. We talked about that for like an hour.
Hey, I think you found out where it started. All right, and that's all from us. Definitely thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time.
Bye.
That was awesome.
Thanks for letting me sit, guys. I